Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to FunTime with Caro. Interesting time together. Today we are going to have storytelling, and as you can see, we're in the animal farm. So welcome to our animal farm. Our story today is about the king of the jungle. Boys and girls, who is the king of the jungle? Doris has said, Mr. Lion, yes! Mr. Lion is the king of the jungle. And the story today, boys and girls, is about the king of the jungle. Once upon a time, in a very big forest, there lived many animals. And those days, boys and girls, animals used to talk. Mr. Lion was chosen as the king of the jungle. As you can see, he's very, very big and strong, and every animal respected him. The rabbits and the monkeys and the bears and the giraffe all bowed before him when he called for a meeting. So this day, the king of the jungle, Mr. Lion, was tired of hunting. He said, I'm tired of hunting animals anymore. I want the rest of the animals to be bringing food in my house because I am the king. And he called for a meeting, and all the animals went for the meeting. You know, when a king calls you, you have to go. So the other animals went to the meeting. They were wondering, what could this meeting be for? And they trying to think. Mr. Rabbit was the clever one, and he trying to think about the meeting, but he could not get the answer. So the other animals went for the meeting, and they came on time, and Mr. Lion was seated on his big throne, and all the animals waited and listened very carefully to the meeting, the message that Mr. Lion was to pass across. Everybody feared Mr. Lion, and so nobody dared to miss the meeting. All the animals, what animals do you know? The animals that live in the forest, the big animals. What animal do you know? We somebody saying giraffe, yes. Sheila, you are saying monkey, yes. We are going to sing this song together of the big animals that you know. Animals, animals, God made the animals, great big animals, small, small animals. These are the animals that I know. Lion, giraffe, leopard, bear. These are the big animals that I know. And all these big animals came to the meeting. And it was time for Mr. Lion to talk to the animals. Everybody, remember, was very quiet. And Mr. Lion roared. Today I've called you all here because I want to pass a very important message. And every animal was silent and listened. And Mr. Lion continued saying, as you know, I am the king of the jungle, and I'm tired of hunting animals. And from today henceforth, every animal will have a turn to bring food in my palace. Wow, that was a very scared message. And all the animals nodded their heads and said, okay, sir, we've heard you. Okay, sir, we've heard you. And the meeting was over, and the animals walked home. Mr. Lion went back to his palace, and all the animals took way and went to their home. But they were very scared. They were like, how will I be hunting for Mr. Lion? He's the king. And he said, from tomorrow, everybody should bring food in my palace. And now it was the time of Mr. Who? Which animal is this? Yes, somebody said Mr. Giraffe. Mr. Giraffe had to hunt. And remember, Mr. Lion does not eat grass. He feed on fresh. He feed on meat. So Mr. Giraffe had to go around and look for animal that he will kill and give to and take it to Mr. Lion. And Mr. Giraffe went and hunted an antelope. and he brought that envelope to Mr. Lion. And Mr. Lion ate. And every day passed, months passed, and now it was the time of Mr. Hare. Mr. Hare, remember, is very brave. He's very brave and very clever. That's why he has long, big ears. And this time, Mr. Hare said, I've not hunted any animal. I've not even looked for any food for Mr. Lion. And now it's my time to take food to Mr. Lion. What will I do? And Mr. Hare thought, and he thought, and he thought. And on his way to the palace, he passed on a well. A well, boys and girls, is a place where there is water. And that Mr. Hare went and peeped in under the well and looked himself in the well. And he tried to think, what did I tell Mr. Lion? And as he was peeping, an idea came to his mind and said, I have an idea. And he went hopping to Mr. Lion. And he was late, remember. So Mr. Lion was rolling. Roar, 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 roar. I'm a big lion and I want some more. And Mr. Hare was like, today Mr. Lion is going to eat me. What should I tell Mr. Lion? And I don't have the meat to take to him. Mr. Lion was still roaring. Roll, 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 roll. I'm a big lion and I want some more. And Mr. Hare knocked at the door. Knock, knock, knock. And Mr. Lion said, get in. The door is open. And he asked, where is my meat? And Mr. Hare said, Mr. Lion, I'm sorry, sir. I'm late. Where is my food? Mr. Lion wanted food. That's what he wanted from Mr. Hare. And Mr. Hare was like, please, sir, I'm late. I want to explain what happened. And Mr. Lion said, what happened? Somebody was on my way coming to bring you some food. I met another lion. And that lion said that I'm the king of the jungle. And this lion was like, who is that lion? And where is he? And Mr. Hare told Mr. Lion, I'm going to take you. And Mr. Lion was very angry. Make an angry face, children. He was angry to learn that there was another lion that wanted to overtake him to be the king of the jungle. And very quickly they left. And Mr. Hare took Mr. Lion to the well. And they went. Mr. Hare was scared a little bit, but he knew this plan is going to work. So they went, and Mr. Hare took Mr. Lion to the well. And Mr. Hare told Mr. Lion, Mr. Lion, my king, please peep inside here and you'll see another lion. And Mr. Lion peeped in the well. And for sure, he saw another lion. Children, was it another lion? No, it wasn't. It was the reflection of Mr. Lion. And Mr. Lion looked inside and he tried to wave at that lion. And that lion waved back in the well. And this lion was so furious and he jumped inside the well. And that was the end of Mr. Lion. And Mr. Hare was happy. He went back in the forest, open, calling the other animals, telling them, oh, Mr. Lion has died. And that's how Mr. Lion died in the well. He just died because of what? Lack of wisdom. Mr. Hare was a very small animal, children, and is full of wisdom. And that's what God wants us to be. God wants us to be like Mr. Hare. Before you do something, you have to think first. And now, boys and girls, that is the head of my story. But before I end, I want to tell you the king, who is the king of the universe. We've learned today Mr. Lion is the king of the jungle, but the king of the universe is the Son God. God is the king of the universe. He's the one who made all the animals that you can see today, and the one who made you and me. So boys and girls, remember, Our God loves you very much and He wants you to make the right choices. Thank you for coming to my class today. Please retell this story to your friends and remember to subscribe, to like, and to share my videos. Bye-bye.